Today's kind of special because the Nacet that I've been shaving with since August is turning 50 uses old today. Yesterday was 49. So Gillette Nacet, 50 uses. Switching to a new razor each day lately to kind of see how they feel. The back side of it is kind of clean and nice. I haven't really been wiping it or anything like that. The bottom side, you can see the buildup there. And I'm going to put it in my razor in a second. I need to get my my soap soaking. At the end of August, I stopped using my puck of Williams that I had pressed into the bottom of the cup. And man, it sure looked like there was quite a bit left. Well, and you know, 20 days has gone by since then, and I haven't used Williams. I haven't gone back to it. And so what happened to the Williams puck is it constricted and reduced as the water evaporated. And so when I pulled out the puck, the mug that was holding the puck, I looked down and this was sitting in the bottom of it. Look how kind of thin that was. So this is how much soap I have left after a month of uses. I wonder how far this will go. So I'm just going to put that back in the mug. Hopefully it'll stay still. So I'm especially going to do a hot water soak today to kind of help that guy maybe stay still or something like that. So make sure my water's nice and hot. And there we go. So actually I'm going to fill it up more so we get more heat retention. There we go. We're going to let him sit for about 7 minutes. You don't have to wait that long. I'll pause you. I'm not feeling very well today. I'd really rather be sleeping, but I've got some work to do, and I didn't really want to miss out on the 50th shave. It's the farthest I've ever taken a blade. Another thing I want to do is soak my brush, and so because I went to Williams, I'm bringing back the Boar brush, the Whipped Dog Boar brush that I used during August, all during August. So I like to use a cup. And there we go. He's soaking. And let's talk about our other stuff. Instead of bringing back the dart that I used in August, which I really enjoy, I decided to go with something kind of special. This is a 21, a British version of the Gillette Aristocrat. And this is set number 21. It's got the hollow hole. It's got the rivets on the side. It's got the solid base plate here. It's not like a diamond shape, a stamped diamond shape. It's all solid. It's non-notched, because meaning it's got the T kind of flanges at the end. I love razors with those because they really hold the blade securely. So I'm going to put my Nacet down on there. This gives me good shaves. It's a nice blend between a good cutter and smooth, with maybe a slight lean toward cutting. And so you do get some blade feel, but it's just very enjoyable for me at least. All right. And the bowl is going to be here. What I plan to do is shake it a little bit once I get the brush out of the water, and I'm going to load in the puck for about 20 seconds and then go right into the bowl with it, and that should generate my lather. And this was almost close to the recipe where I made a note that it was kind of the quickest way to a creamy lather. So let's see if we can duplicate that today. So I'm going to pause you while soaking happens. All right, been a few minutes now. I'm sorry about the sniffles. It's one of the reasons I feel horrible. I'll try to cough off camera and that kind of thing. My little puck here is kind of floating around in the warm water, so that'll be interesting to see if it loads well. And so we will pour off the bloom water. And there we go. And now I'm going to just water my face a little bit. Kind of as a pre-treatment. Start to get those hairs soft. And the recipe for leaving the water in the brush is about 3 medium light shakes. So let's try that. 1, 2, 3. And we'll go in and see. I'm going to go ahead and load with 30 seconds. I said I was going to do 20, but in the light of the fact that it's kind of moving around, I want to try to give myself as good results as possible. All right. And we'll wait till the counter hits 0, 0, and there we go. 30 seconds now. Definitely some of that early lather kind of forming. The airy kind that you don't want to shave with. I guess if you wanted to, you could, and there we go, 30. If you got a small puck at the bottom, you know, that kind of moves around on you, you could break it up into pieces or shred it again and press it into the bottom of the container, start over. All right, well, there we go. Let's see if that's enough for our 3 passes in a bowl lather. So take my bowl and just start. If you have a life and you don't want to watch me full time stir soap. Oh yeah, not bad. Then YouTube has a playback speed control. Hit that little gear icon at the bottom. Look for speed, I think. Change it to 1.5 maybe. You can go faster, but at 1.5 most people can still understand my words. So after just a little while, I have, you know, it's not bad. You know, it's getting there. It's not super bubbly and super airy. It's still a little airy, but that's why we're gonna beat the crap out of it and see what we can do here. One other thing I'll go ahead and say is that I discovered after testing during August that, you know, if a soap tells you to load with hot water, to soak it, you know, in hot water, oh yeah, see, now that's getting even better. Then you don't have to usually soak a soap. And I said hot water, but I mean anything. If a person's instructions are, you know, soak it for 5 minutes and then use it and then load for, you know, 10 seconds. I did that with Williams for face lathering, and I discovered that if you can reduce your load time by soaking the puck. But a lot of people don't like to soak their pucks for, I don't know, whatever reason. I think if it works with your schedule, it can really save time because it means less load time. Because when I chose not to soak my puck, I ended up having to load it for about a minute, 60 seconds. So you kind of have that time at the beginning or at the end. You can load, you can soak it and then have a 10-second load time, or you can not soak it and have a minute load time. And so those are approximate figures, but just to let you know, that's you know, you can just load longer instead of soaking. Sometimes is a very viable thing to do. So yeah, it's kind of happening. Look at that guy right there. Now this shape usually indicates that he's a little dry. Most other soaps, like the American Artisan type soaps, that usually means he needs a little bit more water. Let's do a little finger test. See how well, oh, nice cushion. Whoa. I just feel the ridge. I feel that there are ridges on my finger, but I don't feel them very much. This is nice. Getting Williams with lots of cushion, that's nutty. So this apparently worked. Nice. Let's just put it on my face. I can always add more water later. I don't want to thin it out. Nah, let's add just a little bit. I don't have my... Oh man, that's slick. I forgot how slick Williams was. Alright, I want to pull in 2 teaspoons, but I'm only going to put in maybe a quarter at a time and kind of incorporate that into this lather a little bit. But holy cow, that felt good. That's a luxurious lather right there. So I may not add any more because I can always add a little bit more on my face between passes. I can add a little bit of water to the brush. This looks tremendous. Wow. And pretty fast too. I did have to crank on it for a little bit. So I mean, if you're interested in just lathering for like 60 seconds, like you can with some soaps, this is not for you. All right. Looks just great. Holy cow. Bloop. Huge. All right. Now, I'm going to rinse my face. All right. Now, I have shaved with nothing but nice, soft Badgers for like 3 weeks. And so that's the comparison. Oh, this is very comfortable. Anybody who says Boars are not just hasn't used a good one yet. And the cushion here is making the brush very enjoyable to use. Feels terrific. I chose Williams actually today because since I'm not feeling very well and I got some congestion, I wanted to use a soap where I didn't really want to enjoy the scent. And Williams has a light soapy scent that I do enjoy, but it's not, you know, too special. Special in a nostalgic, connect with your forefathers kind of way. But man, it's a little thick, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that cream ridge on my face. That's some creamy goodness. Definitely would not have a problem if this brush was the only one I ever was able to use. It's works really well and it's very comfortable. Got just enough backbone to whip up anything. Nice big generous splay, but not too big because I have a little small tract of land here with a goatee in the middle that doesn't get shaved. All right, there we go. Man, I'm really happy about that lather. Now let's just see if it works. $50 uses on this blade. Other newer blades definitely will have less cutting feel than this one, but I'm not trying to hurt myself. I'm not trying to go far just for the sake of going far. If it becomes uncomfortable or something like that, I'll stop. But a little bit of blade feel, not really any tugging. I mean, maybe just a tiny, tiny bit that really is kind of inconsequential. Not trying to remove all the hairs in one shot. And just pressing in enough to connect with the skin only and not any further than that. Man, that worked pretty well. I'm gonna rinse. All right, let us put, I wouldn't be surprised if I came down with a flu tomorrow. Just kind of how I feel. Let's hope not. Left a little bit of water on my face since that first pass was a little thick. Very comfy. Especially the painting passes. And now switch to the painting only. Spread it nice. Very good. Cross grain pass on my cheeks. Feel a little blade, but it's comfortable, predictable, consistent, firmly held. Nice glide. Very nice lather from Williams. Go ahead and do the bottom. Oh, and right here, I get better results if I kind of come up from the bottom. And here, this is a cross grain pass. Just feels like a manly shave. It does, and there's no irritation, anything like that. Being very gentle, especially over here, because I want that cutting action to be as good as it can be. And sometimes pressing down too hard messes up the curve of your skin so that it doesn't cut as well with some razors. I would say with most good razors. And a light touch. You can irritate your skin if you push too hard. All right, rinse. One of my curiosities was how long would a puck of Williams last? And so when I got to the end of August, using it once a day, sometimes twice, because a few times I would make a test lather or just mess up a lather. So I'd say I have about 36 uses on this puck. And I was told, my research indicated that Williams would last about a month. But because of the shape of the cup, and I couldn't see the bottom, you know, because the soap was in the way. Man, look at this lather. It's terrific. You know, I thought it was going to go maybe a month and a half or something like that. Maybe even 2 months. I'm going to probably say a month and a half. At the most would be my guess. So now I'm probably going to use Williams every other day just so I could quickly get to that number of uses until it runs out. And a lot of them I would load for too long because I was testing the waters. So it may be able to go 2 months if you quickly figure out an economical mix that you're happy with. But it is cheap, you know, and so if you can possibly afford it, you know, just enjoy it. But there are hungry college students out there that may want to try to be as economical as possible and that sort of thing. Another economical option that is probably a little cheaper is that, and lather's easier, that 1 kilogram block of Sella, an Italian soap that's been around for 100 years. I really enjoy it. A lot of people do. It's got a cherry almond scent. You can buy the 1 kilogram block for about $33. And that may be one of the best deals out there, because I think that's about 7 tubs of it, and I think a tub could, you know, probably last you a couple of months. And it's much easier to lather than Williams. Although this one tonight was not bad, huh? Another really cheap option is the Prix de Provence. My favorite is 63. It's a smoky scent, peppery, smoky, warm type scent. That's just really interesting and nice. And it is a hard soap, triple milled soap, and so it will last a very long time. $17 or so, but it may last you 2 years. It may last you 3 years. And I'm talking about with daily shaves. I don't know how long it'll last because mine just hasn't gone out yet. Another option is Arco, but it smells like lemony detergent. But it's inexpensive. It's sold in stick form as well as cups. But the sticks are like you can get them for $1.50. Don't pay more than $2 for them. And those things will last a couple of years just for that hard stick, because it's a triple milled soap. A lot of people can't get past the scent though, so that's why I recommend Prix de Provence 63 or Sella as kind of my go-to economical soaps. Was that just 2? I think that was just 2 passes. Can't remember. So let's just load up for 3 here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was just 2. And the lather, as I'm rinsing it away from my face, just gets creamier, enjoyable, very nice. Third pass, switch to just brushing pretty quickly, the painting type strokes. Don't need to scrub anymore. Your face is plenty clean. Just get that kind of layer built up around you like that. Listening to hear the cutting action. If I don't hear what I think I should hear in terms of cutting, then I can change my angle. Not changing my pressure, just my angle. And I'm holding all in one little spot, and so there's plenty of room for my razor to go over the bumps of my face instead of trying to go through them. There we go. I probably need to do a 4th pass neck only. Usually do. Little rinse. All right, neck only pass. It looks like I should not have done the 3 shakes of water from my brush before I started loading. Looks like the 30-second load is probably a good idea. I'll have some excess lather, but I do like to have a little margin. I do have this, so my Boar brush is a 24 millimeter. And usually when I give water recommendations, I like to add water to the bowl via my syringe, and that way I know exactly how much water I've added to get this lather. When you do a brush shake, you just don't know. And your brush, is it the same as mine? Probably not. And so it'll hold a different amount of water. But it seems like the loaded brush method does better with Williams. Instead of adding it in gradually, it seems like coming in with the wet brush is better and quicker to get a really good Williams lather. There we go. All right, I'm going to rinse and take a look at the results. Sometimes that cold water rinse will let you know of a little irritable spot there. I do have hard water, in case that matters. Wow, that's a good shave. I mean, there are just a few hairs where I see the tiniest amount of length. I mean, that's really good for me. A person who could go against the grain, which would be this way, on their neck, could have knocked those out on the 3rd pass instead of me having to do 3.5. But for me, that's really good. So this 50-use blade is blowing through the barricades, not stopping, no hint of stopping anytime soon, apparently. And I'm interested now. I'll have to flip back and forth between Williams and some other soaps to, I want to see when this guy gives out. I thought he had so much time that I wasn't really interested in, in doing him as often. But he's so thin, I just saw today, that I'm going to keep hitting it. All right, so 3.5 passes. This is how much lather I have left. So great lather. It's got cushion, a little bit of resistance. The slickness is crazy. Now it doesn't have that like creamy, you can still see a few little bubbles here and there. But when it feels like this, I don't really care. It's great. Really lots of residual slickness. It's got some cushion and resistance. And so it's elasticity. That is just, that's a great lather in my book. Any day. And to me, when I can dial in this kind of lather without too much effort, I mean, to me, this can compete with a lot of the big names with tubs of, soap costing $25. And there's one hack you can do. If you have an aftershave splash, you can grate the soap, put it in a bowl, pour the splash, like the whole bottle, in there. But you have to just wait a while to let the alcohol evaporate. That's a lather killer. And stir it like every few hours, every half day, every day if you can't do it too frequently. Stir it, and it'll gradually start getting harder as the alcohol evaporates. And then press it all down once it's really hardish. Press it all down as much as you can, and there you go. It's a scented puck of Williams, a scented batch of Williams that'll last you a month and a half, and smell whatever however you want it to. So that's cool. Fun to do. So tremendous lather. I ended up adding probably about 2 3/4 teaspoons of water, it seems. Oh wait, no. So I had the shake. So whatever was in the brush there, a couple of shakes, and then I added 3/4 teaspoons of water. Once I had it on my face and realized it was a little too thick. So this, what a good creamy lather. And so the puck will now cement itself in the bottom of the mug again, and wait for me. Maybe in 2 days I'll hit this guy again, and we'll see how long he lasts. And this guy did just as I was hoping he would. A little bit on the aggressive side of medium, so comfortable but still cutting well. Very happy about that. And that's just a piece of history and art that I get to use, almost like jewelry. It's a privilege. And now I'm going to clean up. And just kind of to test the quality of my shave, to test my technique, I got some, I have some Dollar Tree aftershave. It's the generic blue type. And it's got a neat little scent. It doesn't smell cheap like I think I tried the green one and I didn't like it. So it's alcohol. Let's see if I get any stinging. Surprisingly, very, very little. Down here in this area, I got a couple of tiny, tiny little guys. And I can't really smell it because my nose is messed up. But that's mostly alcohol. If you have dry skin and stuff, you'll want to kind of avoid this type of aftershave. It's been the tradition of men for many years for that kind. But a lot of people are getting into balms now, especially those with dry skin. All right. Very cool. Clean up. So with such a creamy lather, this Boar brush was just a joy to use. I mean, there are badgers, plenty of badgers that are softer, but this is very comfortable. And you know, our forefathers who couldn't quite get into badgers in many cases, there were definitely some shaving brushes that held them in good stead, kind of like that one. Very cool. So this lather is, this recipe that I used today is a great way, fairly quickly, to get to a creamy, dense lather with Williams. With plenty of cushion, and I happen to like mine a little thinner than that, so maybe next time I might not shake the brush out at all for this particular brush. If your knot is bigger, you may have to do more shakes so that you have the same amount of water as I used. If your knot is smaller, then obviously, you know, you may have to increase your water a little bit. But it is nice if you can do the shake thing for yourself, zone in on how many shakes, if any, is what you need, because that's much nicer than measuring and things like that. And you'll always have your brush with you, and so that's a great way to do it. And I do measure a lot of stuff, but my end goal, once I find a good recipe, is to then switch away from measuring things and like real life, you know, brush shake kind of things. You can also just go by feel. Take a look at your brush every time you pull it out, and over time you'll learn what a properly loaded brush looks like. You'll learn and feel the lather. You'll kind of learn there. You can feel the weight of the brush. If you repeat the same stuff over and over, you will really get a feel for it. Anyway, it'll become second nature to you. Well, there we go. Wow. It was a lather worthy of 50 uses on this blade. Really happy it turned out. I looked back in my records and I found the recipe that I wanted to try, and so that's why I keep those records. I hope this is a help to somebody out there. Take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.